Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Nick. For years, I've been cutting my paneling and sheet goods down to size using nothing but a circular saw and a couple pieces of paneling. Let me show you how I do it. The project starts from just a 1/4 inch thick, 2 foot by 4 foot piece of MDF or hardboard. Then you can measure out your pieces. Keep in mind the size of your parts are going to depend on the circular saw that you're going to use. In my case, I had one piece 6 inches wide and one piece approximately 10 inches wide. I cut these out over at the bandsaw because actually at the time I didn't even own a table saw. To get the best results, make sure you have one of the pieces have a factory edge from the sheet. That's going to be your top, narrower piece. You can see that factory edge here. A quick little tip, because I've built a few of these over the years, when you start out with your bottom piece, which is your wider piece, make sure it sticks past the circular saw blade here and also has plenty of room behind the motor housing, so that when you go to glue on that top piece with that factory edge, you're able to get a clamp of any type of size or shape and the circular saw doesn't interfere with it. Then it's just a matter of gluing the two pieces together. One thing to note, make sure that factory edge on that top piece is what your circular saw is going to ride on. Then I like to just run a pencil line so that I know where the glue is supposed to go. Lay down some glue and apply some clamps. If you don't have any deep throat clamps, you can use a couple scrap pieces of wood just to act as cauls to try and get all the way across and get nice even clamping pressure. Once the piece is dry and out of the clamps, you can then just ride your circular saw in that track, making that first initial cut. This will cut down your jig to exactly the size for your saw. And then if you want to be overly picky about it, like I normally do, I cleaned up the ends and then the back edge as well. You can also add a handle to make it a little bit easier to carry. Check out this Apple Boxes video if you want to see exactly how to make quick and easy handles. The nice thing about a door board is if you draw a line on your workpiece, now you know exactly where that blade is going to protrude through the jig. So you know exactly where to line it up for the cut. Just add a couple clamps and then run your circular saw right in that track. Not only does the door board protect the finish of the piece underneath because it's not resting on the piece, but it also acts as a guard to prevent a lot of the tear out. Well, if you guys have been checking out my videos for any length of time, you might have caught this guy in the background. This is just an 8-foot version of what we built today. And I call him a door board. You've probably seen this setup before. It's pretty common. I was always taught though that it was called a door board, mostly because a lot of guys like using them on finished doors, because that way the base of the circular saw isn't actually rubbing against any type of finish that might be on that door. And you can trim like about a 1/16 or so off of a door to get it to fit inside a jamb. That way it helps you out if you don't have a power planer or a hand plane nearby. This one I added a nice little handle. That way it's a little bit easier to hold, and it works out really nice. I definitely suggest if you guys haven't done one of these, it's kind of a poor man's track saw. I've been using that technique for probably about 15 years, and it works out really, really well. And if you guys notice, some of the footage, in fact, the majority of the footage for this build was really old. In fact, over a year old, I would say close to a year, year and a half almost. I actually recorded that and glued that chunk up probably about 14, 15 months ago. But now with my hand all busted up, I needed something to do, and so I figured, hey, I can edit this video together, and that way I can show you guys how I break down my larger sheets oftentimes. Well, until I see you guys next time, you guys, take care. Good. I thought I was out of gas.